within your reach.
Welcome to Straight Out of Clothes, My Clothes Free Life, the podcast. This is episode 3, and today we're bringing you an interview recorded a few months ago with bare body freedom activist, musician, lyricist, documentarian, and video artist Ton Du. We hope you'll enjoy it. We are going to be talking with Ton Du, who is just an extraordinary individual promoting body freedom, naturism, and clothes-free living. And if you're not familiar with Ton Du and his work, we're going to allow you to get a little taste of it right now with my favorite song of his, Whole Day Nude.
I wanna go dancing and do a little singing. I wanna go streaking and do a little moving too. I wanna do the hot tub with you after we do the stars from the roof. After we do the sunset for two. After we do the whole day. And when we get hungry, we could do a drive-through. The tank's almost empty. We need to get gasoline too. I wanna do the...
If you have not heard it before, that's just a little taste. We'll be playing a few more clips of songs from Ton Du, and I just want to bring him on board now. I want to welcome our guest, our very special guest today, Ton Du. Welcome.
Thank you, Earl. Thanks for having me on.
It's so great to be able to talk with you and just introduce our listeners to you. I discovered you online when I was just beginning my own journey into naturism and clothes-free living. And I'm excited to be able to share you with our listeners and let them learn about who you are. So in case there are folks out there who are listening who don't know who you are, tell us, who is Ton Du?
Earl, that's very kind of you. I really appreciate those kind words. I'm an average guy. I produce bare body freedom themed songs that obviously some would be accompanied by music videos, and there'll be a couple, at least a couple that will be accompanied with a documentary. And I do this, again, for the encouragement and enlightenment of the practice of simple nudity. These songs, some of them can be heard, can be purchased. The documentaries will be streamed on a web. I'll mention later on. And then, of course, the music videos, you can find some of them, I think, online. And then the future music videos would be streamed as well.
That's great. So, first off, I got to ask, Ton Du, does that have a special meaning?
Earl, my birth name is Anthony Douglas, and so my nicknames are Tony or Doug, depending on who's talking to me. And so Ton Du is further abbreviated. Tone is for Tony, and Do is for Doug.
Tell me, how did you get started in naturism or clothes-free living? What's your clothes-free living story?
It's it's been so long ago that I honestly don't remember. I mean, I was really very young, and it's just been so long ago I don't remember. But what I'll say is this, Earl: every whenever it seemed like a good idea, wherever it seemed like it would be okay, I was naked, and that became an issue more. It became more of a topic than it was a problem. It is that when you're not an adult,
Right.
people don't think much of it. But and so I got mocked a little bit, but nobody cared. Uh, for instance, as a young child, maybe 7 years old or something, I was naked in the yard. I'd run through the water sprinklers, stuff like that. But we were playing, we were having fun, and it didn't mean anything. And my parents were okay. They thought, hey, get some clothes on. But I guess probably I was maybe 15 or 16. I ventured out to it was a place, I think. This was a place in California. I mentioned running in the yard. I did that in Ohio, where I was born. But when I got to California, there was a place along Ventura, the Ventura Freeway, that I went over to see. I'd heard about, and it was a good place, and it was a good time. So I was naked out there, and I guess for areas that are sanctioned or set aside or frequented for skinny dipping in that, I guess that would be maybe the first place I went. And this was back in 1977 or 78, I think. So it's been a while. And then since then, I've just kind of gone every place I could go, and there have been a few places, but it's just been so much, and it's been so long that I don't know. Just any place is a good place, really.
Okay.
And if you can do it without any trouble.
Right, right. Well, that's great. Tell us about your musical background. Do you play instruments? Do you write your own songs? Do you, and how you got into producing naturist focused music and videos?
I can read a little bit of music. I can play a little bit guitar, a little bit keyboard, but I don't perform on the tracks. So I'm not an instrumentalist. For the most part, I'm a lyricist. So I can write these songs, and this is an incredible thing. If it's a situation I've experienced, I can sit and write about it, and it doesn't take very long at all. It just comes flowing to me. I've written songs for theme, and that too is very easy. I guess it's conceptual. If you have it in your thought process and then you're putting it to words, it just happens. So it's really incredible how easy that comes to me, and I'm happy for that. The melody actually kind of happens simultaneously. It comes together, I think, depending on how the lyric is cut. But that's the process. I mean, it's not a big deal for me.
Well,
and
let's listen to that, the output of that process with another one of your songs, "I'm Real."
Okay, that was a hard one to sing. I remember. In fact, they're all hard to sing for me. I'm not a vocalist, I just again, I just kind of hack it out and they end up with a song,
Big topic for the gossipist. Big deal, I'm always out like this. I'm real, I'm raw, I make the call. Someday, some law will let us live the way nature intended it. And we all can get on happily when we all can get on naturally. Nature is law that says it all. Been called a revolutionist when I sing to a crowd like this. I'm just another catalyst for many budding naturists. I'm real, I'm raw, I make the call. They say they saw the way we live, just like nature intended it. And we all can get on happily when we all can get on naturally. Nature is law that says it all.
If you're just tuning in, we are talking with Ton Du, musician, lyricist, and songwriter, and Bare Body Freedom activist. So, where can folks find your music for purchase, Tondu?
ReverbNation.com / Tondo, Tondou. But Earl, if anyone goes to tondo.com, Tondou.com, they'll find links to pretty much everything I'm doing.
Do you have a favorite? I want to play of the songs you sent us to use for the show. Do you have a favorite out of that, or did I already blow your favorite?
No, you haven't. And I don't know what the favorite song is. I really don't. They really all are experiences. Most of them are about experiences, and they're all good. And so they're just stories, really. I think musically, maybe I like Whole Day Nude. I like that song. I like it musically. I like Nature Zones.
Well, let's play Nature Zones for our listeners.
Oh, okay.
Within your reach are nature zones, along a beach or just at home. Whether you seek to be alone or in a group, there is a nature zone. The mental space that is your own, the body that tags along is looking for a way to roam in a complete and total nature zone.
Listening to Nature Zones by our guest today, Tondu, musician, songwriter, artist, videographer, bare body freedom activist. And Tondu, we have a question. What artists have inspired you?
You know what? I'm happy for that question, and I'll tell you this. Here's what I want to say about that. I always wondered, why maybe the Beach Boys, John Lennon, maybe I don't know. I always wondered why those guys hadn't gone this route, why they just hadn't produced songs about bare body freedom. And I thought they're going to do it, but it never happened. And I think I understand why. I don't think their careers might have done as well. Maybe, I don't know. On the other hand, maybe they could have done a lot better. But probably musically, I like the Beatles. I don't know. I like all the good artists. I hear it. I hear their unique work, and I think, yeah, that's great. It's good work. There are a few people that I don't like. I like a lot of music. So, but what I do with my ability, and it's not tailored to any specific artist. I open my mouth and I try to sing, and it just comes out sounding the way it sounds. And the music I give the producer to play, it's just what I think works with the song. So, but that's without influence from any particular artist. I like a lot of artists. And I like a lot of music, but so there's not any real influence. I've heard a lot of things. I've heard David Bowie. People hear a little David Bowie or something, and that's a compliment, really.
Yeah,
I've heard.
Honestly, I wondered if anybody else picked that up, but that's exactly who I think of. in
Yeah,
terms of not just stylistically, but your vocal patterns
yeah,
feel a lot like that, and which I think is a great thing. I think that's really
it's a
cool.
great thing. I'm happy about that, and again, it's a compliment to me. I like David Bowie, but none of that is deliberate. I mean, I don't try to do that.
Right.
I try to sing, and it comes out that way.
You're just you, right?
It's just me, yeah. And it's not all that great, really. I've been told, but it's fine. It's all I can do. I just do my best.
Well, let's listen to another cut from Tone Do, I Bear.
I bear everywhere appropriate to. I use outerwear where I need to. If I don't need anything covering me, I just want to go naturally. I bear without a care at the retreats. I find others there are friendly to me. Sometimes there is that occasional stare. Sometimes there is that no matter where. Somewhere out there I go. I bear an ocean air at naturist beaches. I find peacefulness my spirit seeks. There's no better day than one of peace. There's no better way than naturally. I bear through the night while I am asleep. I'm out like a light, peaceful and deep. There's no better way than this for me. I bear night and day, obviously. Somewhere out there I go. I bear.
You are listening to I Bear by writer, artist, Bear Body Freedom activist Tone Do, who is our special guest today. This has been just fantastic. It's something I've been looking forward to for such a long time. There will be links to where you can purchase the music and so forth in the show notes that are on our website, clothesfreelife.com. But you can also link to it from our website or from our Spreaker page. So, Tondu, I wanted to play that song, I'm Bear, by way of leading into a question I have for you about Bare Body Freedom. Tell us what that is all about, and what is Bare Body Freedom Reality TV?
I've said that bare body freedom, and I say as I define it because I think there's some other ideals about body freedom or something related to nudism. But so what I like to say, Earl, is that bare body freedom, as I define it, is the responsible at will practice of simple nonchalant nudity. And I'm referring to it whether it's being practiced privately or in public view. And the idea that a person can be without clothing, with a purpose, responsibly, is bare body freedom. Be in that state, be without clothing, without any legal ramifications. That in my mind would be bare body freedom. And so Bare Body Freedom Reality TV I'm still developing that, Earl, so I won't talk too much about what is actually structured. But I think if I say that it is largely situational reality, I think that's a really good description. And what that means is there's just going to be, lots of stuff, lots of footage, unscripted stuff, but things that are real in nature. None of it's fabricated. None of it's staged. It'll be the capture of situational reality, with bare body freedom. So it'd be really intriguing stuff. I mean, I'm getting the footage and I'm looking back at it, so I can tell you that it's going to be very good footage. It'll be very entertaining.
Do you have any musical projects that you're working on as well?
Yeah, Earl, and the Bare Body Freedom Reality TV will be the venue. It'll be a place where you can go and stream this video content. It'll be several episodes of this footage. But anyway, and so probably the first thing that will air on it, but several things will air at the same time. But one of the first things I want to release it with will be this project I'm working on now. I've been referring to it as Naked, and I'm calling it there's this song involved. There's going to be a documentary around it, and we'll produce another music video for it to promote it. But and so the actual title, the official title of this is "I Was Naked," and so again, there's a song, a music video, and a documentary. Now, the documentary is what's been keeping me really busy and really depressed because I'm not getting it along as fast as I wanted to, but it's happening, and I'm not too far away from wrapping it. So this documentary, Earl, is about what I call the journey and the quest for bare body freedom. It's taken me from a place I can't, for instance, I live in a very nice place in Las Vegas. I can't go out into the backyard naked. I can't get into the jacuzzi naked. I can't walk through the receiving room naked with the windows open without possibly being seen by the general public. You can't do things that you ought to be able to do if you choose without clothing. That's my thought process. Now keep in mind, I haven't, besides my backyard, I haven't gone outside yet. I haven't gone into public yet. So, but I would be in public view possibly if I walked into my backyard, or if I opened to my front door, or went out to check the mailbox, or opened the garage door, or walked out to the car. You'd be in the public view, and if you're out without clothing, you're subject to legal issues.
Right.
And so that's my problem with that. So this documentary takes me from that place of reality to a demonstration where I try to show anyone that sees the demonstration that the fact that this guy's out there without any clothes on says that he's with a purpose. My purpose is obvious because in this demonstration, there was an artist, a professional artist, at an easel painting. While I'm there doing a life portrait, a figure painting. At that same time, in Washington, D.C., I did a speech and I did a song recital. We did it again a couple months later, 2 or 3 months later, in New York City. And there were 2 artists that came out, professional artists that came out and did separate figure paintings. I think I recited the song there. But those were demonstrations that say that nudity is a simple thing. It's no big deal. Those don't suggest that anyone should go, to the Capitol building and walk around naked. They don't suggest that anyone should go out to the Guggenheim and get naked and walk around or stand and pose. Those demonstrations don't suggest that anyone goes and does that. They're just suggesting that, and they're demonstrating that nudity is harmless. It's completely harmless. In those instances, it was educational. People looked. Many of them learned. Many of them thought it was a great thing. And then I'm sure others, were not so keen on it. But so those are 2 things I've done to try to demonstrate, if you will, that nakedness is it's harmless. There's nothing wrong with it, and people shouldn't be too upset when they see naked people.
Thanks for sharing that. I was going to ask you about those demonstrations that you've been doing in some very visible, public, well, highly populated places. Let's listen to one more song from Tondu.
It's cool. I guess I'd better take good care of it. I'll be going here and there with it. I won't be needing much to wear on it all spring and summer long. Maybe I'll tidy up the hair on it for the time that I'll be bearing it, getting some oceanic air on it until the seasons are gone. It is my body, it identifies me. In this life I'll be bearing my soul. I don't exactly see the shame of it. I don't expect to get to fame with it. I don't intend to hide, I came with it. And so I don't think it's wrong. I would expect to...
You're listening to It from Tondu, who is our guest today. It's been a fantastic conversation. Please do visit his website, Reverberation Nation, /Tondu, and there'll be links to it in our show links on our website, closefreelife.com. Tondu, you have been very busy, as you said, on wrapping up this documentary. What are some things maybe that our listeners, what can they do to support the bare body freedom efforts that you're putting together?
I think I would invite anyone, that has any concerns or any questions to contact me and let me know what they are. I would like everyone to give it just, 4 or 5 minutes, just hear something or see something, I've done. And if they subscribe to it, I would ask them to share it. And, I think it's something ultimately we all need to do. I'm sitting here, I'm in Hollywood, Florida right now, and I'm a few miles north of Haulover Beach. I'm at a friend's place, and if I could, Earl, I'd walk out to the beach right now, the way I'm, the way I'm dressed here, and I'm not dressed. But I can't do that. I've done it. I had to do it on the cover of Night, very late at night, away from the population. But you can, they're sanctioned areas, and that's great. I think that's wonderful. But, bare body freedom, the quest, the way I'm going about it just says, hey, this is not a big deal. And, the appeal would be to the nation's lawmakers to, be a little laxed about it. Maybe rewrite the laws, or maybe just, maybe make addendums to the law or something but then this, of course, is on local levels. This is something that people at local levels would have to do. And I would ask the followers, if they're people following what I do, if they see me doing something and I reach out to them, at least ask me questions, support me when they can, if they can. And I think we could make some things happen.
That's excellent. I really think you're continuing. You've been a pioneer, taking your cause, the bare body freedom cause, through music out to the general public and population, and you're continuing to do that pioneering effort in these new projects that you're working on, and just the way you approach it. I really appreciate that, and that's why I was so excited and so much wanted to have you on the show today. Our guest today has been Tondu, songwriter, singer, bare body freedom activist, and just an ordinary guy who wants to have that opportunity, the ability to spend the whole day nude, to quote his song that is my favorite. And I want to thank you, Tondu, for being on with us today. I appreciate it so much, and I hope we can have you back on again sometime to give us an update on what's happening with the documentary and what's going on with the Bare Body Freedom reality TV.
Thank you for having me on, Earl. Thank you very much.
This has been the Straight Out of Clothes, My Clothes Free Life podcast, and I am your host, Earl D. Join us again for our next episode, where we will have more interviews and reviews from the naturist, nudist, and clothes free community.
The mental space that is your own, the body that tags along is looking for a way to roam in a complete and total nature zone.